In Moscow, Soviet television interviewed the Indian ambassador, Mr. Gujral, a couple of days ago.
Your Excellency, what is your opinion on the coming visit of Mr. Desai to the Soviet Union?
I am very happy that Prime Minister of India, Shri Morarji Desai, is paying his official visit for the second time to Soviet Union. You will recall that he came here in 1977 and he is coming again now. In between, His Excellency Mr. Kosygin had visited India. During his last visit to Soviet Union and during Mr. Kosygin's visit to India, and the leaders of the both countries established very good rapport amongst themselves. Mr. Brezhnev and Mr. Morarji Desai had already established a very good friendly equation between them. And I'm sure during the next visit, this relationship will be further strengthened.
What do you think will the visit influence on our future relationship between Soviet Union and India in the fields of policy, economy, culture?
You see, one thing you have to keep in mind basically is that relationship in variety of spheres between our two countries has been very remarkable. We are very close in all spheres. For instance, was a symbolic thing happening when Indian satellite was launched into orbit from a Soviet cosmodrome with the help of the Soviet scientists. This close cooperation between Soviet scientists and Indian scientists, which has for the second time launched a satellite, is very symbolic and very marked. At the moment, Joint Commission is meeting in India, in Soviet Union. The delegation has come from India and they have been meeting for the last week or so. And they have covered a vast area of cooperation in industry, in commerce, in science, in culture, which again is showing how close we are and how near we are and how friendly our relationship is. Now, I will not take your time to give you details of our cooperation because it may not be feasible, but I can only assure you that as at present, the friendship between Soviet Union and India is very good and of very high quality.
And in another program on Soviet television, the PTI correspondent P.N. Lakshman spoke of the special significance of Mr. Desai's Soviet visit at this time.
The visit of Mr. Morarji Desai in less than 2 years of his last visit to the Soviet Union once again emphasizes the importance the two countries attach to high-level consultations frequently. Mr. Desai's visit to Soviet Union could not have been better timed, coming as it does on the eve of President Brezhnev's departure for Vienna for his high-level summit with President Carter. This will give Mr. Desai an opportunity to hear from the Soviet leaders as to the prospects Vienna hold out for the future of mankind. It will also give Mr. Brezhnev an opportunity to hear from Mr. Desai the views and anxieties of the non-aligned countries which are to meet for their summit in Havana next September.
In Tashkent today, Mr. Desai was seen off by the leaders of the Soviet Republic of Uzbekistan as he left for Moscow. The Prime Minister said India and the Soviet Union attach great importance to the friendly relations between the two countries. We are striving to establish peace throughout the world, he said. Mr. Desai visited the Shastri Memorial Dhacha, the house where the late Lal Bahadur Shastri spent his last days in January 1966, and placed a wreath. He garlanded the statue of Lal Bahadur Shastri in a central avenue in the city. The Prime Minister spent about an hour at the office of the Muslim Religious Board for Central Asia and Kazakhstan. Welcoming Mr. Desai, the chairman of the board, Mufti Ziauddin Baba Khan, said there had been exchange of scholars between India and Central Asia for many centuries. Mr. Desai's visit, he hoped, will further strengthen these visits. The Prime Minister presented the Mufti a 350-year-old manuscript of the Holy Quran from India. The Mufti presented Mr. Desai a copy of the latest edition.
Man has always had the urge to create wonders with his hands. These hands are today at work in a million different ways, in industry, in homes, everywhere the urge to create to do something oneself goes on. All with the right kind of tools, like tools from Nikitasha. Nikitasha offers you a wide range of do-it-yourself toolkits. What is it that you want to make? Something difficult or something simple? Do it with a Nikitasha do-it-yourself toolkit. Get a Nikitasha do-it-yourself toolkit when you want to do it yourself.
When you're out and something like this happens to you, what will you do? Reach out for a Nikitasha automobile toolkit. The Nikitasha automobile toolkit helps you get back on the road again. When problems such as this arise in your home, what would you do? Reach out for a Nikitasha toolkit. Keep a Nikitasha do-it-yourself toolkit handy. Things seem so easy to fix.
For gardening jobs, there's nothing quite like a Nikitasha toolkit. For raking, digging, chopping, or even cutting, keep a Nikitasha toolkit handy in your home. For times like this, wouldn't it be nice to keep a Nikitasha emergency kit handy? Things become so easy to fix. Now let's look at the Nikitasha range, each fitted with a wooden cabinet to facilitate storage. The Hobbyist Senior, the most versatile 173-piece kit with a built-in fold-out work table. The Hobbyist 135 gives you 118 tools for all your aids. This is the Hobbyist 155, yet another versatile toolkit from Nikitasha with 73 pieces. The Hobbyist 110 offers you 54 tools to do it yourself, an ideal kit for work around the house or in the office. The Hobbyist 115, a compact set, is most ideal to have around in children's camps. And the emergency kit, should you need it anytime, anywhere.
All it needs is a pair of hands, yours.